Well, this video probably should be named Hangover Cam because I am a little seedy. I'm getting over it now. It's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm feeling a little better than I was earlier in the day. I did have a breakfast though. I went and had my normal far bowl, which was delicious as usual. Lots of greens, quite a healthy meal, and I really will miss it because this is my last day in Saigon. It's hard to believe it. This trip's over. It's been a real marathon, and yeah, it went out with a bang last night. I went caught up with Johan, so that's 2 nights in a row. So that's why I'm feeling a bit seedy because that band can pack the booze away, and we had quite a good night last night actually, and I think we're more on the same wavelength than I thought regarding bar girls and the things like that. I've got this weird triangle on in the viewfinder. I don't know what it is. It still appears to be recording okay. Maybe it's a focal thing, but it's just a bit distracting. It jumps around, it sort of framing my face, half my face. It's weird. I haven't seen that before, so I don't know. So the trouble with some of these cameras, I mean, this is quite a good camera, this Sony that I'm shooting this on, and but they have so many features, I just can't keep up with it. But look, I digress. I want to talk about my last 48 hours here have been pretty decadent, typical of too much booze, food, booze, chatting with women. Not so much last night though. What was nice though, because yesterday we decided to catch up with one another at a local bar here, which is an upmarket place called MZ Club. Now, I thought we'd be going inside MZ Club, which has got a normal bar area, but I found Johan sitting outside. There was an outside area in the front of the place, and he was at a table, and it was really nice because it was open air. It was pleasant because the roads is not a busy road, so we could just look out onto the road and have a drink. And he wanted to go to this other steak place, but funnily enough, this place has a big sign saying steak out front, and so they must specialise with it, and we both ordered a steak. Not a big one, I only got a 200 gram fillet, but it was nice. It was more than enough meat, because I'm just not used to eating big hunks of meat anymore. The last time I had a steak would be almost a year, I would think. So it was quite an event, but the food was good. It was really good, and of course he paid for it. I mean, it's just overly generous, and I feel so guilty. And I did get to pay a little bit of when we went to the gin house next, but what was good is he actually really liked it because he was a bit. He's getting a bit over number 5 bar, and we were looking for somewhere else to have a drink. And this place, it's a shame I undiscovered it on my second last day because I've walked past it before. But it's a really nice place to have a drink, and the drinks aren't that expensive. They're the same as you'd pay in the bars outside of happy hour. So they're 45,000 dong for a Saigon. That's okay. It's not the cheapest, but it's certainly not super expensive. But it's just a really nice place to just have a quiet drink. And we had a good conversation, and we didn't have loud music. We had a really beautiful breeze. It was just it was about 5 o'clock because he'd read online that there was a happy hour between 5 and 7. So we got together at 5. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It's actually, in a way, it's better because you can turn up there any time, and you'll be paying the same. You can have a reasonable price drinks in a really nice environment. So I was very, very happy with that, and the food was good. The steak was good. I asked well done, and it was properly cooked. And the fries as a side dish were excellent. Quite a large quantity, and really well. I didn't want any more salt, but Johan wanted some. I thought it was very lightly salt. I'd say they were perfect. They were really, really good fries. So, and there was a little bit of a salad as well as part of the meal. It was actually really, very pleasant, very pleasant. And after that, we headed off about an hour or so later to the gin house, which just happens to be a couple of blocks down the road. And again, you know, I think it was nice that Johan was quite impressed because it's quite an upmarket place. And we had a really interesting. Obviously they specialise in gin. They're a cocktail place. He wanted to have beer, but we ended up having, I think, about 4 of these. They're called holy waters, and it was a mixture of gin with what was the other ingredient? It was sake. Gin and sake and some other ingredients, lime, gin, sake, and so they were like a green in a tumbler, and we got some munchies with it, and we cracked a few gags about, you know, how we were being blessed by this holy water and things. They probably heard these corny comments before from other patrons, but it didn't matter. And so yeah, we had 4 of them. Oh boy. So then we went to number 5 bar. Oh, I think actually we went to the to Retro after that, and then we ended up in number 5 bar. Retro was a bit dead, and immediately the bar girls swarm on top of Johan. It was like a feeding frenzy. And I said to Johan, well, I initially said to him, don't sit at the main bar. Sit further away. There are other tables further away where the girls don't congregate. But he didn't do that. And then I said to him after he got swamped, he figured out why I insisted and we don't sit at the bar. And he came back down to where the pool table was, and we sat round there, and it was much better. He's fed up with them, you know, continually getting ladies' drinks. He's had it. So I saved him, so it was nice. But of course, he's paid bloody one way. I was fully prepared. I had a full wallet, had plenty of money to pay my way. But mind you, he told me he gets these. He's doing okay. He's actually he's got a nice earner with these video games, and he actually told me he's got 6 titles. So it's 6 different games that he's actually developed. And he writes the code for them, and so I was very impressed. It was really nice, and it's just a shame we discovered that the bar, the MZ Club, just yesterday, because it would be a nice hangout, very pleasant. But yeah, look, he's not sure about where he's going to be. He's got to go to England in September to catch up with his daughter who's having her first baby, and then he may still go to Panama, but maybe just for a month, because he's thinking about getting a study visa in Vietnam. Either that or a business visa. He's trying to work it out with his lawyer to get some sort of a visa arrangement. They've given him some scheme, but it cost him a couple of grand. He thinks it's too expensive, which I tend to agree. But he doesn't want to have to keep going in and out of the country. He wants to be able to stay in Vietnam for a few months at a time, and at least. And that's fair enough, you know. He doesn't want to be constantly travelling. Anyway, so that was really good. That was a good end to my trip. Today I'm recovering from a bit of a hangover. I've got to do my packing. That won't take long. I'm a little nervous because I've got to get a cab at 5 o'clock. It shouldn't be a problem. There should be people get up early here, and there'll be plenty of grab cabs around. But yeah, I'll still feel happier once I'm actually on my way to the airport. And then I've got to actually, the people I'm staying with, they realised I was a bit worried about getting a cab there, and they said like they would have arranged for me to have a pickup done for a couple of hundred thousand. I've got to get used to the new currency, a couple of 100,000 rupee. I've got almost $100 in rupee or maybe $70 anyway. I've got enough anyway for a cab. The cab should cost less than it should be about 70 or something, 70 to 100 from the airport. It's around 100, yeah. So that's equivalent of about $10-12 or something like that. So, but I've got to go upstairs to the departure area where the Bluebird. You've got to get a Bluebird cab, a genuine Bluebird cab. There's so many scams happening in Denver, so you've got to be really careful. And the good thing is I'm going to be landing at around 1 o'clock tomorrow, and so it'll be early afternoon. assuming there's no delays. But the worst case scenario should be late afternoon anyway, and as opposed to me getting in at about 11 o'clock last time, I think it was, or not, well, maybe it was 9:30, 10. It was late at night anyway, and I didn't get a legitimate cab. The only way to get the Bluebird cabs is to actually do it this way. You've got to go up to where they're dropping passengers off in departures. So I always do my research online. But like I say, my hosts are really nice people because I've stayed with them before, and so I know I'll have a very pleasant stay in Bali, and I know it's a good part of Bali by the looks of things for getting around on foot, and that's what I need. That's why I changed from where I was going to stay originally, which was right down on the coast, which would have been very nice to see, spectacular. But if I want to see that sort of stuff, I can just hire a grab car or bike or whatever and get someone to take me around, or even my host might do it, especially if I give them some money, But I want to be in the situation I was in when I was in those cabins, and I was stranded, especially on the island. I don't want that happening again. So, but look, I'm sort of happy to go. I don't want to stay in Vietnam all the time. It's nice to. Cairns is going to probably get boring after about a few weeks to a month. We'll see. But look, I can always go down to Brisbane and to catch up with a couple of friends down there, so that'll be okay. And I haven't been to Brisbane for years, so that's always an option too, rather than going overseas again. The idea is to get some renovations done on the flat, get some new furniture, get a new TV. I looked up the TVs today, the LED TVs. Boy, they've dropped in price. It's amazing what you can get nowadays. So I'm going to get myself a big screen TV because I've got one in the room here, and I'm enjoying the experience of watching TV shows and movies on the big screen. And then I'll have the football season will be starting, and that's another that's a sporting event that I'll be watching on the big screen as well. So yeah, a good sound as well would be nice. So I want to really upgrade it, and I need new furniture. I need a lot of things, and I want to make the place look presentable. So I've got an option of renting if I want to. So we'll see how it goes, but that's my intention. So a bit sad. It's always a bit sad leaving Vietnam. It's going to be also a pain in the ass logistically. 8 o'clock in the morning. I bought some sleeping pills. They're herbal ones. I don't know if they're going to work. I'll take one of the capsules when I go to bed. I'll probably hit the sack really early because I'm going to have to get up about 4:30 a.m. Because I want to get off, get a cab at 5. So it's going to be a very early start to the day. So I'm not looking forward to that. I hate early flights, but what can you do? It's the only the only cheap flight to Bali from here. There might be other airlines, but you'd probably pay through the nose. So, yeah, Vietjets is basic, but they are pretty cheap, and they have got me to my destinations. I only had one really problematic delay. It wasn't super problematic; it's just a few hours, but it was a pain. But and that happened when from Da Nang. That was the other flights have been on time, if not early. So amazing. So that's it for Vietnam. It's been look. The big bonus this trip for me is that is meeting up with Johan at one of the places I would never expect it. And Indonesians do, and the Indonesians people generally aren't people I get on particularly well with. But Johan's the exception. I like Kimberly. She was a nice lady, and I haven't really talked to many other people there, admittedly, but they've. I don't know. They're not my type of people in a general sense. I would say I'm a bit more down to earth, I think, and Johan and I met one another in the most unlikely excursion, which was the artsy fartsy one, and we started to talk about where the best place to have a drink is. I think we were bored, so that was funny. Yeah, life coming from left field. But look, I'll have to. When I come back, and I may stay in District 7, I'm not sure about that yet. He seems pretty keen on this area. Johan's in a nice part of town on the opposite end of District 1, right near the river. And he's in a condo, a really big condo, and it's a nice place he's staying at, but it's a little sterile, and he likes the vibe here. So Yeah, it is. It's surprising, actually, just part of town. It's quite a few upmarket places, and as you said, you just walk out of his place and on the street, and he's there. You know, he's got options everywhere, and that is true. So yeah, I'm really happy he was. I caught up with him because he seemed a bit grumpy with me on Friday night. I didn't really want to go out Friday night. I don't like going to Number 5 Bar Friday night because it's packed. But he seemed fine yesterday, and we seemed to be get on really well, and it worked out very well. Yeah, it was a good night. So I'm glad to report my last night in because I don't think tonight's going to be. It's not going to be a going out night. I'm definitely in no mood to go out tonight. So last night was my last party night, and it was a good night. So good fun had by all. And next report will be from Bali, but there may not be a video tomorrow. I say that's unlikely. It's possible, but we'll see. I might. That's the other good thing, because I've now got the Corel video working, the editing suite. You know, it's much easier for me to make the videos. It's I definitely prefer it to Filmora. I don't know what it is with that name. It's not that hard. Filmora. That's all it is. Filmora. Yeah. It does my mind in, that name. I don't know why. It's not that difficult. But anyway, yeah, Corel is very easy to use, and I had to reacquaint myself with it because I haven't used it for months. But yeah, I'm back into it, and yep, that's the program that's going to be producing the edited videos from now on. So I've raved enough, I think. You know, I've gone to a few places, did the Thai interlude and to Phuket, and that was good to do because it broke up this long trip. I haven't seen enough of the city here. Next time I would really like to catch a few buses and just check out areas like the expat area, District 2 for instance, and but at least I've had one bus ride, so now I've got the taste of it. I'll get out more and more. I want to go to the zoo, actually. This is just near where Johan is living. He's at Vinhomes near there, and it's got a beautiful botanical gardens. Apparently it's very old school with the zoo though. They got caged tigers in very small confined cages and things. Yeah, that's not gonna that wouldn't impress me. That's pretty cruel. So the modern Western zoos have got more money. They've made the animals in more of a natural environment. You don't get so close to see them, but at least they're living a reasonably okay life. So yeah, I don't like seeing animals going crazy through boredom. It's not good. So, but the botanical gardens are nice, and it's pretty cheap. It's only about 50,000 dong, so $3. Yeah, a little over $3 to get in, so it's pretty reasonable. Anyway, that's next trip. Maybe August, maybe September, maybe even earlier. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to come here in summer though, so that's the one little caveat. So, but it'll be for 1 month because I won't be able to get the 3-month visa anymore, and we'll just see how it goes. So that's it. Yeah, it's been an interesting time, and hopefully my next trip here will also be an interesting one. We'll see.